Well, what is up? You're getting 2 reviews today. That's right, 2 reviews. I'm spoiling you guys today on a Thursday. It is October 29th, 2020. It is almost 3:30 p.m. where I'm at. And it's raining. Gonna rain all day. I gotta go to the gym later. At the same time, I really don't want to go, but I'm gonna go. And here comes the fat jokes. Oh, you fat fuck, go to the gym. Stop being lazy. Go to the fucking gym, you fat whale. Hey, I am gonna go. You follow me on Instagram, you'll see my stories and all that stuff. I'm gonna go. But because it's raining all day, I decided to sit here in my office / room and give you guys a review for both AEW Dynamite and also NXT Halloween Havoc. That'll be in another video momentarily. So there's that. And then maybe later today, I'm going to go on twitch.tv and play some FIFA 21 and do Ultimate Team. So if you have not yet followed me on Twitch, twitch.tv/HeelSteven. Yes, there's 2 3s in Heel Steven on twitch.tv. Follow me there, be notified, all that fun stuff. And yeah, watch me as I go live and play FIFA 21 Ultimate Team, which has been addictive. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Ultimate Team is that work, if you will. It really is. But anyway, enough about all that. AEW Dynamite last night. I thought honestly, it helped building up the pay-per-view as far as getting people, I guess, excited for the show. And that's what they're supposed to do. The purpose of these shows, and again, this is not even a go-home show. This is just, I guess, the week before the go-home show. And I'm not gonna lie, the card looks pretty good for Full Gear coming up on November 7th, which is next Saturday. Likely, yes, I am off that Saturday. I found out I am off. So there will be a live review once Full Gear is done. Likely the usual crew, myself, Walter, Mike, and Chase, the 4 of us, hopefully will be reviewing the show. If you've watched the All Out review from, I think it was back from September, right? The 4 of us got on a Skype call, we reviewed it. You know what to expect already. Pure mayhem. But anyway, this is the Dynamite review. Again, I thought the show overall, it helped, I guess, in hyping up the pay-per-view. We got a town hall meeting. We also know the finals of the AEW World Title #1 Contenders Tournament coming up at Full Gear, which we all knew going in. You all knew a mile away it was going to happen. The match itself, right? Cody defended his title against Orange Cassidy in a lumberjack match. We have a new NWA Women's Champion, Serena Deeb, who defended her title against some random person who I don't even know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know. But I ask you guys in the comment thread below your thoughts on Dynamite. Did you enjoy the show or not? And all that fun stuff. And believe it or not, I know I said this a long time ago, the idea of watching both shows at once, because that's what I did. I watched both shows at the same time. I had on my television screen, I had Dynamite. And on my Mac, I had NXT Halloween Havoc on the USA Network, if you will. That's what I did. And I know I said a long time ago I was going to do that. It's impossible, but fuck it. At this point in junction to get this out of the way, I did it. So we kicked Dynamite off with Wardlow being interviewed backstage by Dasha Fuente, which, by the way, she's beautiful as all hell. Okay? I'm not going to deny that. And they're talking about, I guess, the fact that Wardlow's facing Hangman Page in the first semifinal match. MJF interrupts Wardlow and said that the tournament that Wardlow will win, right? It's like if he won it. And once Wardlow becomes the AEW World Champion, MJF becomes the AEW World Champion because Wardlow works for him. And any property that Wardlow owns will become MJF's property. So they're still doing this whole angle that, yes, MJF has control over Wardlow. And then he gets interrupted by Sammy Guevara because, again, later on in the night is the town hall meeting, the Inner Circle. Will they allow MJF to join the Inner Circle? Which even still, after watching it, which is funny as it was, and I'll get into it later on, what does that do for Wardlow? But anyway, that's around the point. And at the same time, It's a program I would not mind watching down the road. A MJF and Sammy Guevara feud. Again, I know they're both heels, but at the same time, the idea is these two guys are your future, if you will. These guys are going to be there, I hope, 5 years from now, 5 or 10 years from now, down the road. But it is what it is. That's what we got. We got the first match, Wardlow and Hangman Page, semifinal match. I thought for what it was worth, it was a good opener. Wardlow had a good showing here. He had an F10 onto Hangman Page, and Adam Page got out of the ring. At the same time, it was all said and done, though. Hangman Page won with the buckshot lariat for the 1, 2, 3, and the big man loses. And Hangman Page goes on to the finals. Who will his opponent be? We'll find out later on in the night between Kenny Omega and Pentagon Jr. But we all knew, again, you saw this a mile away, who was going to be in. Then from there, we get Eddie Kingston versus Matt Sydal. But before that, from commercial, Eddie got on the mic and complains about Jon Moxley not being there tonight or last night, right? And he wants to pick a fight. And yes, in case you guys don't know, Eddie Kingston is facing Jon Moxley in an I Quit match at Full Gear. I know on the surface, it's like, really, what? However, I do feel like, yes, both guys will have a good match. I'll say this, and this is what I've been saying for a long time, if you've been following me on Twitter. To me, Jon Moxley's title defenses have been so uneventful, in my honest opinion. They have been the most uneventful title defenses I have seen from World Champion. And I know you're going to say, oh, but look at Drew McIntyre, look at Roman Reigns, look at when you, what have you. But still, they have been the most uneventful shits I've seen, right? From the match with MJF at All Out, from the hell, even his match at fucking Full Gear, what was that? A Double or Nothing with Mr. Brody Lee, right? And again, as a part of me that just wants to see this title change, but at the same time, the idea that Eddie Kingston is going to be the fucking world champion, I don't know, fam. I don't know. Again, it should be a fun match, but yes, Eddie Kingston had a match with Matt Sydal. For what this was worth, it was an okay match. Again, you want to give Eddie Kingston some momentum going into his I Quit match. And it's funny because he won with the Bulldog choke. He literally made Matt Sydal tap out like it was nothing. Made him tap out, right? And after this, you had literally everyone, I guess, from his little faction, that being Eddie's faction, right? Who was there? Who was there? The Butcher was there? And I guess after this, the Bunny came out, the Blade came out, but still, you know, it's one of those things where, again, you're giving Kingston momentum going into this title match at Full Gear. From there, we got an interview between the Young Bucks and FTR via satellite. You had Excalibur hosting the interview. And again, he's talking about the match coming up, how this has been years in the making, and there's back and forth. How the Young Bucks haven't been the same. They're talking about Matt Jackson's knee. Matt says that either way, he will be there, even if Nick has to like crawl him out, what have you, he will be there. FTR took puck shots at Excalibur, the fact that, hey, he's been friends with the Young Bucks, but he has a job still there. Here's the thing. Look, here's the deal. It's one of those things where, yes, this is a match for people that wanted to see for a long time. Yes. And apparently as well, the stipulation now is that if the Young Bucks do not win, they will never get a shot at the AEW tag titles. That right there already tells me what's going to happen. The Young Bucks are going to get their moment. They're going to win, right? They're going to win the tag titles and all that stuff. They already just told you the result right then and there. So my thing is this, okay? We're going to give FTR another tag title. They're going to hold on to the tag titles right now just to drop it to the Young Bucks at Full Gear. And I'm pretty sure, yes, they'll have that 40-minute classic. I'm pretty sure Dave Meltzer and dorky Brian Alvarez are gonna fucking jizz their pants, if you will, right? And go on Observer Radio and talk about how amazing this was. Tag team match of the year, which probably can be, for all we know, right? But at the end of the day, after this, what's next for FTR? Then what? Okay, you wrestled the Young Bucks, which is the one thing everyone's been wanting to see. But then what? Where do they go from there? Huh? That's what I want to know. Someone please help me out here. And this is why, again, I really wish that, again, when they left WWE as the Revival, that they would, and again, we're in a pandemic, so I understand that a lot of these independent promotions aren't running shows. Like, I mean, some of them are now, but it wasn't like, they weren't doing shows back in like, when did they get released? In May or April, whatever it was. So it's not the same. I get that. But a part of me wishes that they didn't sign a deal with AEW where they would just explore the indies and from there eventually make that move to AEW. I mean, if they go on the indies right now, the one match I want to see, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, it's FTR versus the North. But that's around the point though. But again, we'll see what's going to happen. Coming up on November 7th, the Young Bucks and FTR. Even though in this interview, FTR walk off because they were unhappy that they're not being asked a question, and there's that too. So, yeah. From there, we go to the town hall meeting. From there, we go on to the town hall meeting. From there, we go on to the town hall meeting between Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle with MJF. They had Tony Schiavone and Dasha hosting this, right? So they had members of the roster basically come up and ask a question, basically, right? You had Luchasaurus show up, and he asked a question, what have you. Apparently, Jake Hager wasn't there because he's busy training for a Bellator fight coming up, I think, this weekend. I think Bellator 250. So there's that too. But Luchasaurus asked a question about adaptation and evolution. And MJF has a chart to explain that the Inner Circle will earn more money with him in there than they would not, right? And that was funny for what it was worth. Then you had Britt Baker and Reba. Reba was acting like a fucking mark, if you will, just losing her shit. Britt Baker asked a question about losing titles, to which MJF said that the Inner Circle is going to win more titles with him than not. And then Peter Avalon, right? The librarian, right? The guy who lost a fucking Brandon Cutler. Who lost a Brandon Cutler on Dark. And how I know about this shit? Because people send me the clip. Oh, yo, Brandon Cutler won, whatever, right? Just wanted to shoot a shot. And had to join the Inner Circle, which gets a laugh from everyone on stage. So there's that. And then out of nowhere, from Cody, Wyoming, Eric B. from Cody, Wyoming shows up. And it was basically Eric Bischoff when he had a long, complicated question in which he calls Jericho a prima donna, and Chris won't stop trying to fire back. So Schiavone tells him to shut up. And MJF complains to try and avoid answering a question about stabbing the Inner Circle in the back, but pressed by Jericho, and Max turns it around on him. And there's a stare off, and it's funny because at the same time you see, I want to say it's Ortiz going off on MJF, but oh look, me and Sammy don't want you in the Inner Circle. I know Jericho might want you, and Santana's in the mix, but I know Jake, even though we're not trained for a fight, may not want you in either and shit. So all this leads to next week is going to be Ortiz and Sammy Guevara versus MJF and Wardlow. But at the same time, it's like, what happened to Santana? If Santana has an injury that I don't know of, that sucks, but that's happening next week. And then as well, Jericho said he's in the Inner Circle. The only way he can be in if he beats Jericho in a match. So at Full Gear, we're getting Jericho and MJF. I know a lot of people thought what happened last week in their dinner, the debonair, was funny as shit. There's some people that thought that was crap. I was in the mix. I thought overall it was kind of corny. I get the humor part, I get it, but let's be real about it. If that was WWE doing that, everyone would have lost. Everybody and their mother would have lost their shit. Oh, but Steve, they have creative freedom, and I hate when every AEW fan, whenever you're discussing something right? Having a back and forth discussion about AEW, or a debate, if you will, right? And I hate when an AEW fan throws that out there, that line. They have creative freedom, though. That's like, that to me is such a cop-out answer. That's like saying, okay, well, I have nothing else to really say, and I know that I'm probably losing this argument, so I'm gonna just throw that line out there for the fuck of just throwing it out there. That's what it comes off as to me, if you want my honest opinion. But again, it should be a fun match for what it's worth. We'll see where all this will go. But yeah, again, MJF said he'll do whatever it takes to win. He'll do anything. Maybe hinting the idea that the inner circle will align himself with MJF. Maybe you'll have Santana, because again, Santana didn't say anything. Hager wasn't even there. Could it be that Hager and Santana turn on Jericho? We'll see. We'll have an inner circle divided. I don't fucking know. We'll see what happens. We also get a recap of Will Hobbs winning on Dark last night. And Team Taz gets a promo spot about their efforts to recruit him. And there's that too. I mean, for what it's worth, they have Brian Cage. They have Ricky Starks. So, it's an effort, but I don't think it's going to happen. From there, we get the lumberjack match of Cody versus my little dog Pocket. I'm sorry. Orange Cassidy. Holy shit. I thought their match was, again, for a lumberjack match, compared to their match from 2 weeks ago where it went to a 20-minute draw, I thought it was I'm not saying it was a bad match by no means at all. I thought for a television match, it was okay. All right. But I felt like their match from 2 weeks ago was better than this. Hands fucking down. Cody defending the most important championship right now in wrestling, right? Yeah. Okay, bruh. The Prince of Pro Wrestling, by the way. Apparently, they announced Cody as the Prince of Pro Wrestling. The Prince of fucking Pro Wrestling. Okay, bruh. Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever he wants to do. The lumberjacks out there. There's a moment where I guess Cody was on the apron, he was gonna fall, and best friends caught him, and then they drop him. I think Trent got some shots in. Everyone was brawling on the outside. The Dark Order was supposed to interfere in this match. I think you had John Silver outside at ringside too for this whole thing as well. There's a whole scramble outside, right? The whole fucking scramble. It looked like Orange Cassidy had the whole thing going on for him, right? You're about to win the title, what have you, right? Arn Anderson throws a punch at Orange Cassidy. Throws a punch at him. Cody hits the crossroads for the 1-2-3. And there was that. Cody got the win. By the way, there was also this one spot, there was a superplex to the floor that looked wow. But there's that. And all of this is happening, right? And who do you happen to see in the cheap seats? My boy Trevor was in the cheap seats. I'm sorry. Sting. I'm sorry. No, Trevor. Okay, god damn it. Darby Allin was in the cheap seats watching all this go down. Because again, at Full Gear, in case you guys don't know, it's going to be Cody and Darby Allin. How is Darby Allin getting a title match is beyond fucking me. But it is what it is. That's what's happening. And again, they want you to think that Darby Allin is the second coming of Sting. We get the NWA Women's Championship match. Serena Deeb, who's now the new NWA Women's Champion, she defeated Thunder Rosa, I think, on literally Tuesday. I think on that prime time show. I forgot the name of it, but it's on Fight TV, right? My thing is this. Okay, I don't know where this primetime wrestling, where they shoot their show. I think it's in California. Against, I don't want to butcher her name now, Layla Hirsch. That's the name of the girl, Layla Hirsch. There you go. UWN Primetime Live. There you go. That's the name of the Fed. I know they're linked to the NWA. But anyway, the idea that you have Serena Deeb, who's signed to an AEW contract to wrestle at a show before Dynamite is, to me at least, kind of irresponsible because of the pandemic. I want to believe if you're AEW, you want your talent to be there 2 days or at least a couple of days before Dynamite. I get it. They got to go home, what have you, but at least be safe about this shit, right? At least have time to quarantine, what have you. It's like she wrestled this match. She won the title from Thunder Rosa, right? Flew over to fucking Florida to be at Dynamite with the NW Women's title. They didn't have time to fucking put her photo in the center of the belt. All this, to me, is kind of a risk. But for what it's worth, though, it was just a regular match, just a squash match, to which eventually Serena Deeb got the win. Now, there's been talk of Thunder Rosa going to WWE. This whole talk of, hey, where's she going to go next? I know she posted a video teasing the idea, hey, Dersheets, where am I going to go? WWE, AEW, or NWA, what have you, right? At this point in juncture, I know everyone's saying, oh, don't go here, go there. I hate when fans do that. I really, really do. I hate when fans go on Twitter and tell wrestlers where to go. At this point, let them go where they want to go. Let them rock, if you will. That's the way I look at it right now. Wherever she goes, it's going to be on her choice. And I'll be fine with it at the end of the fucking day. From there, we get Sean Spear versus VSX or VSK. I've seen him wrestle before at Wrestle Pro here in the Northeast. It's not bad. A squash match. Spear hit his finisher for the 1-2-3, and that was it. He went with the C4. And Mantar in the crowd heckles Spears and throws candy at him, which leads to Sean to throw him in the ring. He takes the bull's head off into the Scorpio Sky. He's a TKO. So you're hyping this up. Apparently next week they're going to go at it. So there's that too. I mean, it's fine on the Go Home show. We also found out that on the buy-in, we found out that at the buy-in is going to be Orange Cassidy, who is supposed to be the most over star in AEW, right? Going up against John Silver on the buy-in of Full Gear. I'm pretty sure this is the way these simps are, right? The AEW simps on social media are going to go on Twitter and complain to @Tony Khan, move this match to the main card. Because again, that's what they are. They were the same way with this tooth and nail match. Remember at All Out? That tooth and nail match? How did that turn out? Let it rock, y'all. Just let the shit rock. I'm just saying, okay? From there, we get the main event. We get Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr., whatever the fuck you want to call him, right? Omega got literally that whole fucking celebrity like entrance and shit, hyping him up by fucking Justin Roberts. And they had the match. Omega showed out. He brought out basically the AAA Mega Championship, which I guarantee a lot of you forgot that's what he was, right? I guarantee no one remembers that, oh, Kenny Omega is the AAA Mega Champion, because he barely brings that shit out. When was the last time he even defended the title? That's what I want to know. And again, I know we're in a pandemic. You can't travel to Mexico. It is what it is. Speaking of traveling, and I know I don't want to combine both shows here, but I'll just say this real quick. On NXT, on Halloween Havoc, right, Pete Dunne showed up and he attacked Kyle O'Reilly, right? And aligned himself with Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Pat McAfee. Pete Dunne just traveled back to America. Which means that this travel lift, I want to hope real soon that if Pete Dunne traveled to NXT, is back on NXT, that Pac can make it back to AEW. That's what I want to hope. But we'll wait and see what happens. But we get the main event, and for what it was worth, it was a good television match, back and forth. These two guys literally went out to beat the hell out of each other. Penta hit a package pile driver, got a near fall. Kenny with the V triggers all over the place. You had Ray Phoenix at ringside watching this shit too. So again, Ray Phoenix was supposed to be in this match. He got hurt. So instead we got Kenny Omega versus the guy that Ray Phoenix beat and his brother and Penta instead. So they did a swap. right? Think about it. If you're Kenny Omega, you're facing swaps basically, right? You're supposed to originally face Joey Janela, instead you face Sonny Kiss in that 10-second match last week, and now here you are. You're supposed to face Rey Fenix, but instead you're facing Penta. It is what it is. It's fine. But with all said and done, though, Kenny Omega hit the one-winged angel for the 1-2-3, and Kenny Omega beats Penta El Sarah M, and he now goes on to Full Gear, right? To Full Gear to face Adam Page to determine the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. And after we close the show, again, I thought the show, for what it was worth, it was a good show. It helped build up the pay-per-view more. We got more matches, and next week is the go-home show, so we'll see what happens next week, again, as MJF and Wardlow battle the members of the inner circle of Ortiz and Sammy Guevara, which again, too, listen, so if MJF joins the inner circle, does that mean that Wardlow joins as well? We'll see. We'll fucking see. Also, you have the members of the Dark Order. I don't know which one it is, but I know it's three of them, right? Versus Cody and the Gun Club. So there's that too. And also Shawn Spears versus Scorpio Sky. All this on the Go Home show to Dynamite. My bad, to Full Gear. The full fucking gear. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, in the comments below, give me your thoughts on Dynamite. Did you watch the show? Did you like it or not? Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/HeelSteven. That's right, there's 2 3, not 2 E's in HeelSteven on twitch.tv. I'll be playing FIFA 21. I'm doing a lot of Ultimate Team, so follow me over there. All right, be notified when I go live over there and stuff like that. I'll be playing more games too down the road, so just keep that in mind as well. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Steve, and this has been another installment of Around the Point. Peace out, dorks.